What's on the playlist, baby? What's on the playlist, baby? What's on the playlist, baby? What's on the playlist?
Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of What's on the Playlist, where we talk about all things weddings and whatnot around the wedding industry. My name is Chris Romero.
My name is Tony Pacheco.
And what's up, y'all? It's Victoria.
Welcome back. Gosh, I haven't seen you guys in so long
Yeah.
on the airwaves.
It's been a few weeks.
Feels like an
I
eternity.
think it's been a couple of months.
Yeah.
But no, it's just, you know what? We're busy people around here at Cutmaster
Yep.
Music. It's been a very eventful wedding season. I would say super busy for us. We're going to dive into that here in just a little bit. And we've been out and about doing conferences and just and doing life, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the holidays.
yeah,
Yep,
tis
exactly.
the season. So no, but glad to be back. We hope you all have missed us, and I hope our 10 listeners out there are still hanging in there.
Yeah.
So anyways, so welcome back. We want to talk about, what should we start off with? This is a little off the cuff. Normally I've got a run of show here, but today we said, you know what, let's just turn on the mics. Let's get on. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And give the people what they want.
Let's start at Wedding
We
MBA.
start with wedding
Well,
MBA.
yeah.
I feel like we always start with past events.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
usually how we start our episodes.
Yeah.
So
typically.
Yeah.
I don't mean to.
I love it. We've got a discrepancy. Where's
Yeah.
the ding ding ding?
My idea is in past show structures, we usually start with last
Exactly.
week's events.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's
Yeah,
start with
let's
last
do
week's
it.
events.
Nice.
I'm going to go first.
Yeah.
I didn't have an event. All right, Tony, you're up.
Let's see. I had from the time of our last, which was October 3rd, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weddings, and
Woo.
yeah, it's October. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's that time. And then I also had like a Friendsgiving event, another wedding in November, a Halloween event. I was at Marble Heights last weekend. So just a bunch of stuff, random, but a lot of good weddings. I feel like this season, I've already said it a few times, but I've aligned really well with like the clients who I've really just work well with in terms of like music choice and overall vibe that they want to create. So it's been really, really fun. We had one wedding that we did like a karaoke at the end of the night as like an after party in another bar. That was surprisingly super fun. It was one of those things where they were all like theater people. So
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
It's so super shy.
yeah, right. They were bought into karaoke by all means.
Yeah.
So like that was really good. And yeah, I just had a lot of fun weddings this year. It's really fun always to be around these positive environments. I feel like now we're in a rhythm of these venues of knowing all of the staff.
Yeah.
It's very nice to be able to go to the venues that we know and work well in and just kind of know what to expect. And yes, you do have your curveballs on wedding day. There always are curveballs,
Yeah.
but it's nice.
You know what? So I'll agree with you there in that I feel like us as a company and as a group, we're in really good flow right now, is what I would call it. And so this is more on the business tip of things for vendors out there, especially those of you that are newer. You don't always get the opportunity, right? Like to say no. But I feel like that's the goal to work toward.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
being able to pick and choose to say no to certain events so you can say yes to the right events, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so that's the point that I feel, are currently at. But this doesn't happen overnight. And so one of the challenges that we have, especially with our newer DJs in the company, is that you don't get that luxury right away. And so sometimes I think, you might see what we're doing, right? And we're getting all these, whatever they might be, looked at as more higher profile types of events and things like that. And newer DJs might wonder, well, why am I not getting those, but the company's getting those? And it's at the end of the day, we are in a vertical in the industry where they are booking us as the talent, right?
Yes.
They're not booking us for our lights and our yeah. I mean, we DJ and we've got cool gear and equipment and all that stuff, but that's really not why people are booking us. They're booking you, Tony.
Yeah.
They're booking Zia. They're booking Mischievous. They're booking Victoria, right?
Yeah.
And so I think what you really want to work toward is to be able to say no, but you have to say yes to everything early on
Yeah.
because you have to build a rep. You've got to build a reputation, and you've got to be known for your awesome skill set, your awesome MC abilities, all of these things to be able to get through an event. And then ultimately you help these planners and these couples make their lives so much easier, so much better. And you elevate these event experiences by being
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the years pass, right? You start getting more and more events and referrals, and you become in high demand, and that's where you can start picking and choosing the events. And so that's where really where
Exactly.
you're at right
It's
now, right?
nice, yeah, to be able to
Yeah.
do that because now we're having meetings for weddings in September for next year.
Yeah.
I'm telling people, please, if you have something that you want done, tell me the date because now these dates are
Our
going super
September,
fast.
I'm just letting you guys know out there for next year.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you've got friends that are looking to book, especially fall weddings, you've got to do it now well out a year in advance. Our September is pretty full for next
Oh,
year.
it's insane already. Just everything that's coming in, and like now we have even couples that are like trying to book the same day, like, and it's one of those things. Well, it's whoever books first, whoever pulls the trigger faster. So it's starting to become that way for us, and which is really really awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to, we talk about it a lot internally, but really we are interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing us,
Absolutely.
because we want to make sure that we're in flow, we get the right events. It's like there's nothing like the holy grail, which is having that couple that appreciates you
Yes.
and what you do and what you can do what you do. You bring
Mhm.
that to the table, and their group loves it. And it's just like it's the perfect event, right? Like
It was
Yeah.
really fun just to be able to play the music that not necessarily I want. Like, how do I say this? I want to play the music because I like the music, but it's also like they like the music as well. It's not
Right.
me having to like shift
Yes.
or lean towards a genre that I'm not a biggest fan of because it keeps the crowd happy. I'm loving the music. They're loving the music. It's just so much fun. I'm trying to think of any big hurdles, lessons.
I mean, I think
anything
that's where the
crazy.
problems happen with a lot of people is that you say yes to everything because, especially early on, you feel like the phone is never going to ring ever again. And if I don't say yes,
Yeah.
and if I don't give a discount, and if I don't do anything I can to get this event, and then you get the event,
Yeah.
all right? And then a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, they turn into nightmares, just like,
Yep.
Exactly.
you've booked the wrong type of client. You booked someone that wants everything at a discount. They've got no appreciation, no value for you and what you bring to the table. They don't really care.
Yeah, it's just a job that they're just trying to get done.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then
Exactly.
you maybe even going through the process figure out that you don't really like them very much either. And now it just never works, right? You're not trying to do your best. I'm just trying to do everything I can to get out of here at 8:00.
Yep.
know,
Yep.
And
Exactly.
nobody wants that.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to give us a shout out, huge shout out. 10 on October 18th. We had 4 weddings on that?
Four
Saturday?
weddings.
We had 4 weddings on the 18th, 2 on the 19th.
Yeah, so,
So we had a
6 that whole
6
weekend.
We had a
The
6
six-
event
yeah.
weekend.
That was crazy.
Which the 19th was a Sunday.
Yeah.
No holiday after. That
yeah,
weekend.
I had
Yeah.
more weddings on a non-holiday weekend this year on Sundays
Me too.
than I had Labor Day off.
Yeah, we actually had the holiday weekend off.
It was
Yeah.
like weird.
Labor Day.
I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what? I don't have you just book and you like I have a number in my head on like, okay, I want to make sure I get this many weddings.
Exactly, yeah.
And so you're not really thinking about all the specific dates all the time. So when I realized, I was like, oh, I don't have anything off Labor Day. Cool. Like it just kind of worked out that way. So that was really fun. And one other thing, my big takeaway I learned from a wedding planner. He was a retired wedding planner, but he talked to me about accenting spaces for lighting instead of alternating lighting or just one color. A lot of DJs, a lot of production spaces are going to do blue, green, blue, green, blue,
Oh,
green.
right.
Very common.
Yeah.
He hated that. He's all, it's tacky. It looks cheesy. It's
Mhm.
everywhere. Accent spaces. So DJs, planners, brides, anybody listening out there, I want you to think of lighting spaces as accenting. So putting focal points around like the bar or around the cake, So basically how it would look would be pink lighting behind the bar. That is where you would visualize just pink lighting, and then all around it would be amber.
Yeah, like an amber tone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it would
Got it.
complement and make and highlight these spaces instead of just kind of like background lighting.
I think a really easy way to do that is with I like the soft tones like you're talking about,
Yeah.
Amber, and then just white, right?
Yeah,
Right.
all day.
So
Yeah.
like use white behind the
Mhm,
bar or something like
mhm.
that.
Exactly.
The bar, the cake, the DJ,
Yeah.
specific areas. But then the rest of the room is your, is your accent
Sure.
space.
Mhm.
Yeah, or a color. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's funny that you bring that up because me and Angelique just had this conversation a couple weeks ago about a wedding that we saw. The clients were high end, but they booked just a DJ that did not know what they were doing with their lighting. So, in all these really awesome pictures, there's this really ugly, hideous green, red,
Yeah.
and just it looked like throw up. Like every
Yeah.
picture like is just taking away the lighting is taking away from the moment, and I feel like yeah, it's really something to think about when you're booking someone. What can they do with their lighting? Can they manipulate it? Is it just a plug and play situation where they plug it in and it just starts going,
Yeah,
right?
that's a good thing, I think, to ask DJs.
It
What
is,
can you do
yeah.
with your lighting? Not just do you have lights.
You know what? A lot of them don't know, especially I think those that haven't had experience with production or newer DJs.
Yeah.
Because I was there. I was that guy. I remember exactly how I
Yeah.
felt at that time. It was like we're trying to show off. It's in our nature. Like that's what we do. Like I want to show off all these cool new lights that I just
Yeah,
got.
no, absolutely.
And a lot of them are just we call them spin and pukes. They spin and puke out a bunch of light, and a lot of them are like the dot lights and things
Yep.
like that,
Mhm.
or the colors, right? And you're going through these color scrolls, and you don't think about that during like a first dance. You're not thinking about the photographer, about video, about the experience that the guests are receiving. It's just I'm in my own little party DJ bubble
Yeah.
and
Yep.
world. And once you're able to break beyond that and start thinking more in terms of production and function,
Mm-hmm.
then your world changes, right? And not only that, just in a lot of different ways. The, people will book you because of that. That's why a lot of
Yeah.
people do book us or refer us out, is because our DJ lighting a lot of times looks so good, whether we get in the background of pictures or for providing the actual light on the dance floor. Like it
Yep.
literally doesn't flicker in video, like
that wedding that I was talking about with the after party, Four Seasons has a photo with bomb lighting. It's our lighting.
Yeah.
oh,
And
yeah.
so they say, we want that. Who did that?
Yep.
Cutmaster did it. And
Yeah.
so it sells itself.
It's little things,
It's little things, but it was really awesome.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a little thing that turns into a big thing. So
Yeah.
I also had an event that I did back in my hometown for some people that are friends of my aunt, I guess you could call her, and they really appreciated the fact that I was able to make my lights go with the color scheme of the party.
Sure.
So it was a quinceañera, but this one was extremely high end.
Yeah.
They put so much money and detail and everything into it. And again, right, we're thinking that way too. Well, what can I do to elevate this experience? And one of the takeaways that my aunt told me over Thanksgiving was she loved the fact that you turned your lights pink for when they did her grand entrance.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a lowrider theme type deal. And they brought really, really cool cars. And the space we were in had like this kind of garage door that was like electrical. So when they brought her in, they opened the garage door, brought her in a car, like a crazy
That's
swooped up.
pretty sick.
It was
Yeah.
awesome. But then we did the pink lighting and just like it elevated and like made her grand entrance like really, really cool. And that was like something they really appreciated that we did for them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really makes all the difference.
It does.
Like when we do a grand intro, very similar. When
Yeah.
I was working with Bao for a wedding, and he knew what he was doing with the lighting. I try not to do it too much because I'm also emceeing and I don't want to overdo it. But I do like the lights to move around, go crazy for like when the couple walks in for that
Exactly.
Right.
5 seconds.
Build up to it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Like
agree.
it's fun because you have just like a room that's amber, all amber.
Yep.
And then when they come in, it's like crazy, and you're like, "Oh, cool it feels right."
Yes.
But I would hate to ruin or hit a button, so sometimes I don't always do that. But with Bao there, he was my second brain managing the lighting, thinking
Yeah.
about stuff that I wasn't thinking about, and that was the best part because I was just ripping the grand intro with music, and then the lighting happened, and I was like, yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I felt that at a few of my recent events as well, where one thing I miss, and we used to do this pre-COVID, where our company had dedicated light techs, and they would actually program the lighting. They knew the programs and the lights inside and out, and that's something I've grown to miss. And long story short, in a post-COVID world, we moved into using basically automated lighting systems that
We pitched towards where I guess we move forward towards efficiency is what I was trying to say.
right,
Yeah.
and they're great and it's awesome. But you're right, like it's like moments like that and things like that are times throughout the night where I wish this would happen or that would happen. I'm having to now do it and think about it myself as the DJ,
Yeah.
where I just had a guy, I had a bow in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Billy, like
Yeah.
Al, Billy were our guys, that they just took care of the lighting. They set up the lighting, they ran it,
Yep.
and so that's one component that I feel like I do miss in our operations.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah, and I feel like I got lucky with that, with having Angelique, assist me on basically almost every single event that I did this past wedding season. But it's the same thing with her. Like, she already knows how I like it and how I want certain things to happen at certain points of the
Right.
night.
Yeah.
So she's controlling all of that.
Nice.
Which is really cool. And it's the same thing with you. It's like we talk about it and like, hey, this grand intro is super high energy. Let's make the lights go crazy, or let's
Yeah.
do this, or let's do that. And it's just like the little things
Yeah,
that really make a huge difference.
And that's what I've had a few events recently where I've got assistants with me, but they don't know the lighting, they don't know
Yeah.
the board and all of that, and so
They kind of get it,
It's
but then they hit the strobe too
so-
long, and you're like,
well,
stop.
or it's been like they work out, but you just know that that moment could have been a lot better, right? And just so yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that.
I always talk about with the assistants, tasteful strobe, just a
Yep.
taste of it, because you could give somebody a seizure out here if you
Yes,
overblow it.
Right.
But
definitely.
Yeah.
yeah, it's been
Cool.
a good. Well,
I'm looking back at my past events actually here since you went back to October because really
Yeah.
that
putting up
is
photos and
That
stuff.
is, yeah.
I had I want to say 5. It was either 4 or 5 events at Sandy Event Center at the golf course,
Wow.
You were there a lot.
including a Halloween party that was there, and so I feel like I've been the resident DJ basically over there at that spot, and
hilarious.
I'm looking back at all these pictures on here, and these weddings were all so good, and it's just I'm not going to go through each of them, but I feel the exact same way that you do, Tony. Like just good flow, as far as locking in with the right couples, right?
Yeah.
Like all of these,
All
I've
of
got
them.
so much good footage. Such a fun time. The Halloween party was fun. I dressed up as a Ghostbuster and I actually ordered a custom name badge. It said Cutmaster on it.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Only $40 on Amazon for that stupid thing.
Hilarious.
But it made its debut this Halloween, and
Nice.
I love that.
yeah, it was cool. I noticed in my pictures here too. We've been, because Sandy Event Center allows it, so we've been using the geysers a little bit more often. I brought them out at Halloween as well. I'm actually going to be using them for an event here coming up pretty soon for a holiday party.
Nice.
That has a theme to it that makes it appropriate. So yeah, just a lot of good events for me too, leading up into this holiday party season here. I did an event. Was it last week? I believe it was last week at the D venue.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the
How was that?
That was fun. That
Cool
was
dance
the
floor.
That's the second one that I've done there, and it was cool. Yeah, the dance floor there is super fun. They've got one of those like infinity floors that's got the lighting, the
Awesome.
LED lighting and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
on
They
it.
got like sparklers from the ceiling.
The sparks come. So yes, they've got the sparklers from the
Your
ceiling.
favorite?
Unfortunately, one of them was not working.
Oh, no.
So actually, they've got more this time though. So they have 2 that come right over the main doorway where you enter in, because that's where they usually bring in the wedding party, like
Yeah,
just through there.
okay.
So when they come right through, you've got those ones, but then they put 2 over the dance floor,
Very nice.
and the one over the
How
dance
exciting.
floor was not working.
well, that's good, I guess.
So
right?
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Just,
You know,
over your head,
it's a
debris.
Yeah.
Is that a problem?
You know what? I didn't notice any.
Okay.
But I wasn't on the dance floor, and they kind of have you on a stage there.
Yeah.
So-
you're a little elevated.
So I was elevated, but also like where those sparks are, it's probably about I don't know, 10 feet away from us or so.
That's good far.
So I personally didn't notice it. I don't know if there was any kind of debris on the dance floor or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
just crosses my mind.
Nobody tripped or slipped and fell or anything, but it did cross my mind too. And I also made sure myself and my assistant knew exactly where the exits were
Yeah.
Yeah.
as a just in case. right?
Someone
No,
definitely
definitely.
hairsprayed their hair or
Oh,
something.
man.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. I know.
No, but it was actually it was a great event,
Looks
a great
cool.
event. It was a cool wedding.
Sounds cool.
I tagged them on socials, and they retagged and reshared and all that stuff. So it was cool.
That's awesome.
Good space. So D venue, for those of you that are looking for event spaces, I feel like that one is it's I don't know if it's slept on, but it's newer, so I don't know how many people actually know of that event space. And it's really interesting where it's located. It's in the valley, but it's like you pull up to the building and it literally says like tax man or something like that. Like
What?
it has Better Call Saul vibes. It's
That's
also why I kind of like it.
That's
Because you
funny,
got the tax
yeah.
guy in the front. And so the very first time I ever went and did a site visit there, I didn't think I was in the right spot. I'm like,
Yeah.
where is
Yeah.
this place? And there's no sign.
Wow.
It doesn't say D venue anywhere.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm like, tax man. I go and knock on the door and they're like, oh yeah. And so you walk through like the
That
tax
is
area and they're like,
so
oh yeah, the
funny.
venue's back here. And there's this whole big,
But
massive,
that's a-
giant event space.
Wow.
That's not the area that people come through when you
Oh,
have,
good,
have
good.
an event, but yeah, they actually have like a parking lot that's in front of it and stuff, and it's very obvious once you get there. But it's better like total Better Call Saul, business in the front and party in the back. Right?
Yeah.
I got to.
Yeah, I was wondering where that was with the dance floor because I saw that on socials and I was like, did the couple rent that out?
No,
or
so
what,
people
what?
ask me every
Yeah.
time I post. This happened because Desiree, who used to work with us,
Mm-hmm.
had her and Brando had their wedding there. That's the first time I'd ever been there. Every time I've done an event there, I've got people hitting me up in the DMs. Where is that? Where is it? Because it looks cool.
No, it looked
The
awesome.
dance floor is awesome. It's a
Yeah.
permanent install there.
Yep.
The floors, it's a really nice venue. They've done a really good job with it. Like the floors are like this, it's like a faux marble, painted marble, but it's really nice. They've got this area which this time the couple used as kind of like their sweetheart table. It's elevated, but it's like to the one side of the room.
Yeah.
Desiree and Brando actually used that area for their photo booth when
Oh, okay.
we were there. So it's really cool. I mean, it does make it tricky. I will say this sound wise, and it's because it's all cinder block all the way around the room, and they've
Ooh.
done nothing to sound
Wow.
like proof it.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Like I noticed, like no matter what I do EQ wise, you're sitting in a big kind of echo chamber, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so there's not really anything I can do on my end to make it sound any better. And the sound just gets a little mushy because of that. The
Exactly.
acoustics in there. That's if I had a complaint, that would be it. But that's getting ticky tack and picky.
Yeah.
That's
People on the
yeah.
dance floor don't care. They can hear the
Exactly.
music. It bumps. It's fine.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I just noticed like when you're on the microphones,
Oh.
it makes it tough for feedback and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
And I've got a great system. We just had to EQ it with the feedback a little bit because it's
Sure.
bouncing off walls and stuff.
Exactly.
But it's a cool spot. Check it out.
Yeah, it sounds like a cool spot.
Nice.
So yeah, events for me.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's been a doozy. It's been a crazy couple of months. I had 12 since the last time we talked. 3 of those were weddings, and these 3 were my last 3 of the wedding season, and I really just had the best time with these 3 couples. Like, they were such a way to send off like my wedding season.
Yeah.
One of my couples, just super fun vibes. The music was great. They were just a really cool couple. Like, I still talk to both of them. I just was messaging them yesterday. Like, so that
Become wedding besties.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
like friends now, which is cool. And then I did a really fun one at the zoo.
Oh yeah.
So that was awesome. They brought
Chilling with the
in-
elephants, right?
Yeah, we were in the elephant
Pavilion?
pavilion, which was really, really cool. And then for the like dancing, first dance type stuff, we were right by the chimpanzees
Nice.
in that area. And
bunch of
I
monkeys,
think
huh?
it was called like the Asian market. So it was
Okay.
just really, really cool. And
So talk about that a little bit because
Yeah.
I think that's another place that's newer to us that I don't think a lot of people know about. And what is it like? Like, are there noise restrictions and things like that
Yes,
there?
so that was the first wedding that they had done there since 2018, I want to say. And we had to be done at, I want to say it was
I
9.
think it was 9 o'clock.
It was 9
Yeah, it
o'clock.
was an
That
early one.
that day was a really early day. With just like logistically was kind of interesting for us. Because our couple did not start the actual wedding till 6,
Oh,
and they
shoot.
still had to get married and do dinner.
Yeah.
And then I think after
Did you
everything
dance
played
for like
out,
20 minutes?
yes, my set was about 30 to 45 minutes, and
Yeah.
then
Sounds
we
right.
ended. But it was great for them. It worked out for them. It was just a lot of moving parts. A lot, for where the Asian market is, where we did dances, to where the actual elephant pavilion is. There is a walk. You do have to walk up, and kind of moving everyone around was interesting.
So where did each event happen?
So we did cocktail hour at the Asian market.
Okay.
Then, with MC work, I rallied everyone to the Elephant Pavilion. We did dinner, speeches, cake up there. And then I got everyone back down to the Asian market for first dance. And then we went straight into open dancing for there. So we're kind of bouncing off a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's interesting.
And then I wish I remembered their business name. They were so awesome. They do a lot of rigging for just events around town. But they did all the uplighting and lighting for this wedding.
Oh,
So yeah, they outsourced them. They didn't use like our uplighting, which we usually just like include with our packaging, but they had already hired them.
yeah.
But these guys lit up trees, like just little accents that were really really awesome when it
Yeah.
got dark.
Yeah.
They had like a area for like the kids that were there with like the playground. They lit that up for them too, which was really
Oh,
cool.
cool.
So yeah, that wedding was just so awesome and just so different.
Different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super different, super out of the box. And then one of the grooms actually helped build the elephant pavilion. He's a contractor. So that's why
Oh.
it was super significant for
Yeah.
them to have it there.
Mhm.
You know
Even
what? That's what it's like
Yeah.
the little details like that some to most people wouldn't be a big deal, but those are the things that make your event you, right? Like
exactly.
there's some significance to that place. I'm sure it was special for him. Every time
Yeah.
he goes and visits it, like the memories are gonna flow, right?
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that's definitely what it was to them. Like it was super super just you could tell it meant a lot to them to
Yeah.
have their wedding there, even with the noise restrictions or whatever else,
Right.
the kind of moving parts. But yeah, that one was really, really awesome. And then I had another one that next day at the Blame Her Ranch. So another interesting one too. My couple.
Blame has a unique venue.
It's unique, but it is so freaking gorgeous.
beautiful.
And my couple, not from New Mexico.
Yeah.
None of their people are from New Mexico. They are
Nice.
actually both in the film and television realm. They're producers. So they flew themselves and their whole crew out just to have this wedding. And it was really awesome because, them being in that industry, they had a call sheet for us with a
Ah,
chain of
that's
events
cool.
of everything we
Yeah.
were going to do. And then another awesome thing that we did that was just kind of different, I had never done this before, was like table captains. So during dinner and cocktail hour, I had little challenges for the table captains to
Huh.
rally around their
I've
crew.
seen that. They're like the party people, the hype.
Exactly.
person.
Like, okay, table 2, we need you guys to get on the dance floor. And they got up and, it was just really, really cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
it was awesome. But yeah, just a lot of, club stuff. I did a really awesome event this past weekend that I'm super proud of. I was able to provide the music for the Nitro Circus that came into town at the Rio
Nice.
Rancho Event Center. And that was just like a whole experience in itself. Just really working with production and being, kind of there for them on the fly. There was some stuff they kind of just threw on me last minute, which really I feel like separates the boys from the men
Yeah.
in terms of DJs. Like they were, I was, talking to Tony about this a little bit. They had, so I had my in-ear monitor, one of them on my right side, plugged into my controller for queuing. But then I had another in-ear monitor on my left side plugged into a pack,
Yeah.
which production was talking to me through a mic.
Mhm.
So they were like, hey, DJ, cue a song for a dance cam. Hey DJ, play another song for this extra 30 seconds that we need time. Just
Right.
kind of working with
Yeah,
that.
run a show.
Running a show. And that was the first time I had ever really had that. I've done opening gigs, whatever, but this was like where I was really hands on with production and
Yeah.
hearing them
Where
talk
they're
to
in your
me.
ear and
they're
talking,
yeah, they're talking to me.
Yeah.
All right, DJ, we're gonna cut you now. We're bringing down the music or whatever. So
Those gigs are fun.
It was
I
awesome.
did one not too long ago, very similar, where they had to run a show and they have somebody that's like guiding you through the actual
Yeah.
through the entire process, right? And they're counting you down. DJ, whatever song in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. And then
Exactly.
you got to hit it,
You
right?
gotta hit it. Yep.
Yeah, just it's an interesting experience, but it's
Yeah.
fun, especially when it's like when you know pretty much what to expect, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and it was cool too because this is the first show. This is the first show of the tour, but also the first show where they did the VIP fan experience. So basically, what that is we were in a kind of like a how would you say it? Like a stage almost, but it was pretty high. And we were in between their ramp where they
Yeah.
jump and the landing. So we're smack in the middle
that's
of
cool.
the whole show, which was super awesome. Like there was even a part of the show where the riders kind of they weren't on any, kind of bikes or anything like that, but they just ran up there and were hugging people and, giving high fives, taking pictures, and then they just like disappeared. So they were really awesome. The team was phenomenal. Like
Nice.
they made us feel so great. They had a dressing room for me. Like it was just a really incredible experience all the way around.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Team was awesome. The show was awesome. The writers are so talented in what they
Yeah.
do. Like I don't think people realize like how hard it is to flip a dirt bike
Yeah,
or
like three
you know,
times in
three
the
times in the
air,
air. Yeah,
Right?
they
Those
were
bikes are heavy.
they were doing some crazy stuff. I was
50
like,
foot ramp.
yeah, and then there's a rider. His name is Wills, and he was born paralyzed and has been in a wheelchair, his entire life. Super incredible story. But this dude's doing backflips in a wheelchair
That's
off of
crazy.
a 4-story ramp. So
Yeah.
they put a rig in there that was 4 stories, and this dude is ramping it in his wheelchair, doing backflips, front flips,
That's
just
awesome.
crazy stuff. So super awesome team, and I really loved that one. And another one I loved was NBA, Wedding MBA.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
what
That
you
was
did. I
awesome.
like what you did there with that
Yeah,
little
yeah,
transition.
good little
go.
transition there.
So yeah, let's move on into Wedding MBA,
Oh, yeah.
which this was as a group of us. This was our second year in a row
Yeah.
going there, but we've been to Wedding MBA. I know myself and Tony a
like
lot
the
of different
fifth
times.
time.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I'm Vegas out, man. I think I said this last
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
but then I keep going. I keep going back. I'm going to be back there in like 2 weeks. So,
Yep.
but anyways, this year was awesome. So for those that don't know, Wedding MBA is a wedding industry conference, and it involves all verticals of the wedding industry: planners, photographers, videographers, decor, photo booths, DJs.
Like
I mean,
anything in a wedding.
everything and
Exactly.
anything.
Yeah.
Weddings. It's probably the largest conference of the year in the industry. And we like to do this, number one, as a group because it's just great bonding, I think, for all of us. But
Yeah.
I think for our newer DJs, like Joe is out there with us, and, we've got some up and comers. They weren't able to go this year, but it could be in the future. It's just, I think for those that are looking, especially if you're just breaking into the industry, the networking, the education, it's all great. I think I'm at the point where I feel like if you have been in the industry for a while and you are looking for more 201, 301, 401 education, it's just not the spot for it. I
Yeah.
think what you're getting here at Wedding MBA is 101/201 level, which is great.
It's all good stuff, but
It's
Yeah.
good, but I'm at the point where I'm really only going to this conference to be there for us, support like company wise, but then really to network
Yes.
with my DJ,
yeah.
my DJ homies, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And honestly, it really is worth it for me for that aspect alone. We got to kick it with, just it's some of we call them the DJ think tankers. I've talked about DJ think tank in the past, which is a group I'm a part of. which I believe are some of the most talented and best business owners in the industry. We get to go to lunch and dinner with them every night, kicking it with them. We'll talk about the highlights here in just a little bit, but just that's a little bit of background on Wedding MBA.
Yeah.
So, what did you guys think? Let's go thoughts, on what we saw, what we did, and things like that.
I thought the overall conference was good. I feel
Yeah.
like they delivered good education. There was a couple good takeaways that I had found. Couple good things. I feel like when you go to these things and you hear what they're saying and you're doing all of the stuff that they're saying, you're like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We're doing that.
Exactly.
That's really reassuring that we're on the right track. And then there's a couple other things that like I can take away. Shortening emails. I think like it's a good time to pause and reevaluate where you need to.
Yes.
And then just be reassured that like, oh, okay, cool, we're doing all the right stuff. So
Exactly.
really good takeaway there. And then we had the DJ takeover, which was amazing.
Insane.
That was such a good night.
Yeah, it was a really great night for the team, and yeah, just like same here with the takeaways. Like, I someone who's now a good friend of mine, Tori V, was talking about basically like how we build relationships with our couples. They're not just a dollar sign to us. At the end of the day, we're working with these people, and it really kind of put a light bulb in my head of something I was thinking about. And I told Chris, how can we specialize stuff for our LGBTQ plus clients? So Chris came up with a really, really cool template for Vibo that is geared toward LGBTQ plus clients specifically, and it's the little touches like that. And Tori talked about that, which was like a huge takeaway for me. Like how do we kind of make people feel welcomed with Cutmaster music? How do we
Definitely.
make people feel like, hey, that's our DJ and they're so welcoming, and that's who we want to be a part of our big day. So that was a huge one. And yeah, of course, the takeover was huge for both you and I. Really, really awesome party me and Tony got to DJ at. We had really awesome sets, and it was just a really great night. It was a cool night, hearing DJs that I had never heard, like Cam and Todd.
Yeah.
Powers, super awesome dad and son duo. And it was just awesome. Like
Todd representing all the dads out there in the world.
all the dads.
It was
yeah.
really
Todd.
cool.
Yeah.
It was a cool moment because he had followed. He was so funny. He was like, "What life have I gotten to where I'm opening for my son?"
Yeah.
You know
exactly.
what I mean? But
Yeah.
it was a really cool moment. They had no repeats or anything like that. It was just a really, really well done.
It was so good. Okay,
Cool.
so Todd, for those of you, go follow Todd Powers and Cam Powers,
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Great people.
Great people, great company that they run out in Connecticut. But Todd, this is going to be, and it's kind of like Victoria, who we'll talk about her set too in just a minute. But there's a moment that sticks out, and Todd immediately starts with, if you don't know, it's called the 10 Crack Commandments by Notorious B.I.G. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 10 Crack Commandments, right? Like, and it's the beginning of the song. So he started with that, but then he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, and got out there and starts doing the 6, 7 thing. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was good. And then goes into 6 foot, 7 foot,
Yeah.
Wade, which was crazy.
Yes.
That was such a awesome, yeah.
So it's that kind of stuff, and that's why what I liked about yours was your beginning and your end. All right, so
Yeah.
Victoria came out blazing with Pink Pony Club, but it was you had a mashup of it.
Yeah,
right?
it was
Like,
a edit. And if you've heard any of my sets this past month, that has been such a heavy part of my set.
Yeah.
But it's an edit of Pink Pony Club, and it goes, an acapella. God, what have you done? But then when the beat kicks in, it's Pony
Yeah,
by Genuine,
by Genuine.
and it's
It's-
crazy.
Mhm.
So all the wedding planner, all the ladies in there were
immediately,
just like,
the dance floor, like
Yeah.
everybody blew up with that, and
Yeah.
you got the energy going. But then the subtle thing at the end that you did that nobody except for us got
Yeah.
was the whole Ti Albuquerque.
Oh yeah.
Albuquerque.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
like-
exactly. And it's so funny that you say that because I was talking to Angelique again about. So if you don't know who Angelique is my partner, but also Angelique is a big part of my business and Cutmaster
yeah,
too.
she's a part of Cutmaster.
Yeah, she is a huge, part of us. But I was talking to Angelique about my set, and I was like, I bring them out all the time because of that. I'm on the road doing shows with my Mac down, Mississippi to Philly, Albuquerque to Chi-Town.
Yeah.
So that's always a huge
Yeah.
thing. But it's like you said, if you were listening to Tori introduce us and she was like, Albuquerque and Cutmaster,
Mhm.
throwing that in there was subtle. And I'm so glad that you guys recognized that, because that was a huge part of why I played that song, specifically because of that line. in
Yeah.
there.
One of the only songs that like drops Albuquerque.
It
Right?
is.
And a
can't-
huge
yeah.
song that drops Albuquerque.
And it was so perfect, and I was proud of both of you. All right, so that was the highlight of the entire trip for me, was seeing you two out there
Yeah.
doing your thing. You were in your element. I could tell, everybody could tell, because number one, they came up to me. And heavy hitters in our industry, like Chris, you should be so proud of them. Like
Yeah.
they were awesome. I mean, I got nothing but compliments on both of you. And I want to talk a little bit about Tony's set too, because Tony, I feel, got put in a tough spot.
Yeah,
So you don't get to choose where you get to in this. Like, number one, just to be chosen in and of itself is like an honor, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're getting to play. It's just the toughest job. Period. You are having to provide music in front of a bunch of DJs and people in our industry, which is hard to do in and of itself. So then you have the task of trying to come up with a set that's going to keep us, entertain us, right?
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
you got to entertain us. And so then you don't get to choose where you play. And on top of that, these guys only got 15 minutes. That was it.
Yeah.
And actually, it wasn't even that. It was like, what, 14?
14.
right?
14,
You
yeah.
got 14
Yeah,
minutes
They were like, "You're
You're
done at
done.
14."
to
Yep.
entertain us. So
Yeah.
for the average person out there, you can tell me in the comments, how many songs would you play in 14 minutes, right? That would probably only be 3 or 4 if you were looking at songs. Well, these guys, being the professional DJs that they are, and the other, how many people was it? DJs were there? Like 10, 12?
10,
12?
yeah,
Something
yeah,
like that.
10 or 12 of us, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's 12.
So there's all these DJs, and they're all trying to do the same thing. Like they want to entertain, but how do you do it in 15 minutes? Well, you got a quick mix. And so that's what these guys did. And they don't get to choose their time slot. So Victoria got a prime time slot around 10 o'clock or so, right?
Wow.
But Tony got stuck with number 2. So he wasn't,
It was like 7:45.
he wasn't like
Yeah.
the first one out
Yeah.
to
So-
shoot. But Tony didn't have the group, the crowd that was there for Victoria, but it was pretty good. So I'll give you.
It worked out.
It was
It was
better.
good.
The actual dance floor was better than I thought, because I was like, man, that's still when people are finishing up dinner,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
I wasn't feeling too good.
And something I appreciated about your set too, that I was kind of observing, while of course supporting you, me and Joe were going crazy
Yeah.
for your set, but your energy really brought in the people. Like I noticed, the first set, there was kind of people, but once you started playing, there was kind of like the people that were in there, like a wave almost, where
Yeah.
people started coming down to the dance floor.
It like started.
It
you know what I
started,
mean?
which
Yeah.
was awesome, which is
Yeah.
hard to do.
No, it
That's what I was
Hard-
gonna say.
That's a hard thing to do.
I feel like the night started with you.
Yeah.
It did.
And nothing against the opening DJ.
No, he's great.
He was great. Everything he did was fine, but your energy took it up a notch. And it's just like, this is who you are. So this is what was
Yeah.
cool. And what was fun for me to be able to tell others, like, because so those, and we all know this, those of you that work with Tony in Albuquerque, in New
Yeah.
Mexico, okay, Tony was Tony. He didn't do anything that he doesn't
Yeah.
normally do at his
It's
events.
Exactly.
That- I
Yeah.
say it all the time. He should be the poster boy for Red Bull.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
He's on 100 all the time. That's what he did out there. He did his thing. He was out there pumping people up. He's jumping
Yep.
across the stage. And so it was awesome for me to get to tell people that don't see you, like, that's not a show. Like
Yeah.
That's
like,
him.
That's Tony. Like
Yep.
this is how he is, and this is why he gets booked out all the time, because he brings that energy day in, day out at whatever he's doing.
Well, it's funny because they were like, "This is a high energy event. Don't treat it as an opening set." And I was like, "All right,
Yeah.
I'm swinging for the fences. Then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring banger
And I
after banger,
appreciated
and I'm
them
going,
saying that,
Yeah,
because I
it
really
helped.
helped. Like, I feel like it helped
all right, then.
everyone get in that mind state. Like, we're not opening for each other. We're not, none of that. We are all the headlining act.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is really cool for us. I feel like DJs like mentally, right? You
It
think
helped.
like that. It helped. Like, okay, we're swinging for the fences every single set.
Yeah.
And as someone that wasn't a part of the actual DJs and planning the sets and being just a in the crowd, I appreciated that because if you listen to all of these, which I did, I was there from beginning to end. All these DJ sets, they were all unique.
No repeats.
There was no repeats. They were all different vibes. Josh Staley came out playing theater,
Yeah.
music, like
Yep.
stuff that I didn't know, but obviously a lot of others did because
Yeah.
they're screaming it.
Ending with "All I Want for Christmas Is You,"
Yeah.
and it just being a bop. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
But Tony's was like definitely high energy, like
Yeah.
dance vibes. Victoria went more hip hop. And played a lot. I mean, and it was cool to see a little bit of everything. One of the guys had a like an Asian
Korean, yeah.
or was it
K-
Kor-
K- it was K-pop.
K-pop, right?
Yeah,
It's nice. It was
yeah,
fun.
and he was talking about that in the chat. Like, I really want to like
showcase
my roots,
culture,
yeah, my culture, which I thought was awesome. But and I really loved the fact that we had a green room because what I was doing was listening, right?
Yeah.
And what I did, I think I only had to do it maybe once or twice, but went back and removed songs because I didn't want to repeat.
Yep.
Yeah.
That happened to me.
Tony got thrown into the
That happened to
gauntlet
you.
with
I
that.
know.
I told him, I was like, "Don't play unwritten." Or I gave him my set list.
Yes.
I was like,
yeah.
and then he played unwritten, and
Which it
was fine,
but Unwritten right now is
yeah,
one of those songs. Like it's an iconic track. It's a sing along.
Exactly.
You
We
can't
have
double up on
curated
that, right?
Sets though too, and
Right.
so I was like, and following. I can't play unwritten right after he just
No.
ended with
Exactly.
unwritten.
Yeah. I feel like if your set would have been maybe like 4 more slots down, 5 more
Yeah.
slots down, it would have been easier to throw it in there again. And then we didn't hear it for the rest of the night,
Mm-hmm. It's true.
which was another thing. I was like, dang.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? We laughed. Nobody played ABBA. Everybody was afraid of dancing.
And it was in my set. Okay.
And it was there.
So we're
Nobody wanted to play it because nobody wanted to
exactly.
be that person.
And we were in our
But-
room. We were in our room talking about sets, showing each other all the little tricks and doodads we're gonna do.
yeah,
And I had ABBA in there too, and I was just like,
it would have hit.
it would have hit. And we were just like, I just feel like everybody's gonna play this.
Yeah.
We were like, I don't know, we didn't want to be too.
I don't think anybody played
Cliche.
"Yeah" by Usher did.
No, no one played that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like,
So.
it seemed like it challenged us to expand our
exactly.
reach, and there's so much good music.
Well,
out
and
there.
that's what happens, right? So everybody, we all think of the cliche, typical
Mhm.
songs.
So I was
that
like,
we- that
okay,
we
let
play,
me
so-
get away from that.
Right.
But still, what's
exactly.
But they also told us, they were like, well, it's a bunch of mid 30s or 30-year-old women.
Exactly.
So kind of gear your set towards that. And
Yep.
so they kind of helped us with a little bit of direction, but yeah,
Which I also appreciate because,
it
like
was helpful.
Chris said earlier too, as DJs, we want to show off, especially when there's DJs
yeah.
in the room, right? There's not a bunch of us, but there was a good handful
There
of
is.
us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We are our own worst enemies, right?
Always,
Like-
yeah. And I appreciate Chris Washburn, telling us that, like, hey guys, like last year what I did with all the tricks and all this crazy stuff, like, really turned a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Don't do that this year.
Mhm.
Just have fun. Make it like a club for them. Make it where they're dancing and they're having
Mhm.
fun, because at the end of the day, that is all that really matters, right?
Yeah.
Those moments. So
Tori really opened my eyes to like, this is some people's biggest party of the year for them. They
Yeah.
look forward to this all year. And so it kind of put that pressure of wanting to deliver
yeah.
and making sure that it just sounded good, worked well, had all the flow you needed, all that good stuff, right? So
Yeah, and it really, in my eyes too, kind of opened up to, you don't know who's watching. So
yeah.
Right.
during the first couple of sets, I had this lady come up to me, no idea who she is. We start, shooting the stuff, and she's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, like I came to hear your set. Never met this lady in my life. Don't know who she is." And is like, "I own a company, a wedding company, and all my DJs are women," which was super awesome. So it's like, you don't know who's watching. These are really good moments to network and really good moments for people to hear you play who are across the country.
Toad, who's
Who are,
Toad, who's a really good friend of ours. You guys got to, have
Yeah.
DJ'd out there in Vegas with him, and he actually, I think was it Toad? Um, I think it was Toad. Anyways, it was one of them was talking with me about how they wanted me to send the clips um, that I had taken of you to him so that he could show his female DJs. It's like inspiration for them.
Wow, that's
And so
awesome.
yeah, like I gave him the clips. You know, I
That's
sent
so
them to him
incredible.
because he's like, I need to show this to the girls on our team because this is what they're capable of, right?
Absolutely.
And so it was cool. I just props to both of you. I was super proud. You know, just as a fan, like I was your biggest fan that night. You know,
Nice.
out there.
It was fun.
Appreciate that.
It
No,
was it was cool.
it was really cool. And I just want to give that lady a shout out. I remember I had her card.
Nice.
It's Simplicity Sounds. Her name is Abigail. She's the founder and the CEO, but she's also a DJ on the team.
Nice.
So yeah, so really, really cool talking to her. But yeah, I agree. Like it was just this really incredible feeling, like, and it was different. Like even for me, that was my second time playing in Vegas, but you know, the first time was kind of working out the kinks, you know, not the biggest of crowds, you know, and this time it was like a gimme crowd, right? I
Yeah.
had it, you know, again, I got super lucky to have a really great set time. So it was just a really different feeling this time around. Even the people we met,
Yeah.
the networking, you know, getting
All the cool DJs.
yeah,
and-
getting to hang out with Drew
Yeah,
all night. Drew
that was fun.
Pierce, like that was fun. Such an awesome guy. Jamie Perez, we got to hang out with her
She was great,
yeah.
all week. And it was just really cool to network and just be around, you know, awesome people. And even for me, you know, being around other women DJs, like, you know, out here, you know, we're kind of scarce. There's not a ton of us, but just to be around really awesome women like Jamie and Tori was like really, really awesome.
Yeah.
So I think like if there's a takeaway that we can bring to you on this podcast, especially for vendors, this is like a business time. And you can just hear it in our voices, the way we talk about it. You need to find yourself a group, a vendor group, whether it's online, on Facebook, whether it's in person, going to Wedding MBA, these networking opportunities. You know, obviously the learning is great, no doubt, but it's also just good to. It's good for us to share like things that we're doing. It's self-reaffirming, right? That what we're doing some things that are like cool that people are like, oh man, like I never thought of doing things that way or whatnot, right?
It's just fun to
Definitely.
talk about not necessarily problems, but like things that come along with our line of work with like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
So they can,
Absolutely.
there's relatability. I can't tell these conversations with all of my friends personally, locally,
Absolutely.
because they just don't get it. And so
No.
when I talk to Cam Powers about how this song didn't hit on a certain night, he gets it, right?
Exactly.
We sat at that dinner table and what songs are hitting for you right now? You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like just-
exactly.
that you don't. I don't talk like that with anybody else other than the DJ. homies.
exactly.
So
Right.
it's cool. It's
Yeah,
a cool opportunity to be able to share like-minded situations, problems, solutions,
Absolutely.
and sometimes they're doing things that you can easily just apply on your
That's
end.
that's
know?
what I'm always
You're like,
looking
oh.
for. It's
Exactly.
eyes and ears. Anytime we go to a convention, a conference, dealing with, it's like, what are these guys doing? Because there's just so many things that nuggets, you know, that I know we can implement here at Cutmaster.
Absolutely.
I did it like you said right off the bat. You know, day one that we got off the plane, I went right into Vibo and I just locked in and I was like, this has got to be priority.
Yeah.
We got to do this right now. You know,
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is awesome. And you know, it's I really wanted to talk about this today too. When I was driving over here, I was like, I really need to say this because networking is so important
Mhm.
to your career.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, not even just DJs, like any kind of career that you do, the networking is going to change your career.
Absolutely.
And I learned this past week. I get a call to do something crazy awesome with the Nitro Circus, and that was all based off of networking.
Mhm.
I didn't ask for this gig. This gig came to me because of the networking that I had done, which is crazy, right? That's how it works. That's how it happens. And I just want to give a huge shout out to another DJ friend of mine. His name is Jason Craig out in El Paso.
Yeah.
Jason is the one that got me this gig. Me and Jason
Nice.
have been friends for many, many, many years. And it's funny because me and Jason, you know, we'll talk for a month and then I won't hear from him again for a year. And then he's like, hey, sis, I got this crazy gig for you. So, you know, you never
Nice.
know what kind of, during these conversations or these relationships you make, what can come out of it. And, it even small things, it doesn't have
Mhm.
to be life changing, but being able to connect with people like you're saying
Yeah.
and have conversations, with Cam or Todd or whoever, is awesome too, not necessarily looking for what they can give you, but just building a real relationship. And that networking is extremely important.
My world opened up when I went to my very first DJ conference,
Yeah.
outside. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know, going into it, what it was going to be like, but it's in my nature. Anybody that knows me knows I've got the gift of gab.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and so it's kind of what I do, right? I can't remember where I learned about it, but I want to say, I don't know, one of these conferences I went to. I don't even think it was in the DJ industry, but they talked about what types they were typing you basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget being typed as like a connector, and I feel like that's true. Like in so many ways, I've become a person like that. I do so much outreach, and then the people that come into my world get connected because of that, right? And so you're
Yep.
right. It's like the web just expands, and the more you can expand your web, I feel like the more your opportunities come.
Mhm.
Whether
Yep.
it's little opportunities, like you said, or like these larger opportunities, right? You had an opportunity to DJ in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now we've made these connections with people where you never know. I brought in, my good friend Dana from Ohio last year to come DJ for us,
Exactly.
Yep.
and just I think it does nothing but good to think of community and collaboration over
Yes.
competition.
Yep.
Definitely.
I completely agree with that, which is awesome because I agree. When we went to Boston, that was the first conversation I had with Washburn that was super one on one, and that's where DJing for Wedding MBA came up.
Right.
Right, so it's like just the alignment in these moments, and you wanting us to have a piece of that as well, which is like rare in the DJ world. We
Mhm.
hardly see it, right? Like everyone is competing 24/7. They don't want you to do better than them, and they don't want you to have more gigs than them or whatever the case may be. But like now, with Cutmaster, we're so tight and so connected with each other. Like it just has been, opportunity after opportunity for all of us,
Mhm.
because of that collaboration that we have with each other.
Definitely.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else you guys want to talk about with Wedding MBA before we wrap this one up?
Nah, Vegas is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so we went to, for those of you here,
Trying to
here's a little
see if I-
nugget for you guys. If you've never been to Best Friend,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
at the Park MGM, this is the second year I took the team there, and we actually kicked it with Cam and Todd and over there and Jamie. That place is a vibe, man. We love eating there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, go check out Best Friend if you're ever in Vegas.
Music's good.
The music is good. The
Food's
vibes are good. The
good.
food is awesome. It's
Yeah.
Korean, Asian, California
Yeah.
barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
so
good stuff.
Yeah.
Family style, so it's like big portions.
Yep.
Yeah. What else did we do while we were out there? Quickly wrap it up here.
We all went to On the Record.
Oh yeah, you guys went to. You
Yeah.
guys did. That was. I
Yeah.
was past my bedtime.
That was a
But,
good spot.
You weren't with us? Oh. Yeah.
I was not there, but
Oh.
no, you guys did go. I
Yeah.
heard all about it,
It was
and
fun.
I have been there though before.
We
And
were a vibe. They let us like behind the DJ
Yeah,
booth.
yeah. So I
hilarious.
had followed the DJ that was DJing there for a really long time. She's awesome. And I went up to her. I was like, "Hey, like, I finally good to meet you, like in person. We've talked over socials." And she's like, "Oh my god, all you guys come up here with us,
Yeah.
come hang out." Like it was
Oh,
cool.
that's
Yeah, it
dope.
was cool.
Yeah, no, On the Record is a cool spot if you're just looking for like kind of like a, I don't know, it's like a vibey lounge, but not like overkill nightclub.
I would call it like a fun house party
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
They have an LED dance floor, which is almost like a disco kind of vibe. The DJ booth is a Bentley or
Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
so
an
it's-
old one. Chopped
And then
in
like
half.
the wall is like all old cassette tapes.
Yeah.
They have 8 tracks.
And then the bar, they have like a stage behind it. like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
opens
Redid
up.
it, huh?
Disclosure played there
Oh,
in that
wow.
part,
No
like
kidding.
a week after we left.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a cool spot and it's kind of hidden, I feel like.
Yeah,
I feel
is.
like it's definitely the first time we went was
It
incredible.
was so fun.
So fun. We
That
caught
one
we
was
caught the
kinda
end.
random.
Yeah, it was random. We kind of caught the end of
Yeah, when we went this past.
time. Yeah, it was kind of already the end. We were probably there for like 20 minutes and then the bar
I
closed.
got bummed. I was like, "What? We just?"
I
got
know,
here."
we were so sad about it, but yeah, if you guys are there in Vegas on the record, super cool spot. And again, it's like you're saying, it's kind of small
Yeah.
and tight, so it kind of gives like speakeasy almost. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like a hole in the wall, like
But
kinda
enough room
type
to
vibe.
walk around.
Yes.
Where did we go? XS for Dylan Francis. Remember that?
Oh my god.
Tight.
Yes.
That was small, tight, big all room.
Do not go there if you're
Yeah, but-
claustrophobic.
but-
Premium. You got to pay to sit down there.
Shoulder to
Yeah.
shoulder.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about On the Record was it felt still that elevated vibe, but you weren't crammed. You weren't
You had room to
getting
dance.
nickel and dimed.
Exactly.
Yeah, you had room to dance. The
Yep.
music's good.
Yep.
So there you go. Your next trip, if you're looking, go and also in the Park MGM, right next door to Best Friend. Go get your grub on at Best
Yep.
Friend, and then
Yep.
you go get your drinks on over at On the Record.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So cool. I think that's a good way for us to end this one before
Yep,
we head into
yep.
the holidays here.
Happy holidays, y'all.
Happy
So
holidays.
we will see you when we see you next
Yep.
time.
Peace.
Later.
What's on the playlist?